What's
I
good,
just
everybody? We should be on right now. What's up, everybody? I'm back. The game, James E2Blue. We're back in the house. Sorry what happened before. We apologize about the delay of the mess up. But we're gonna come right back. We're gonna talk some quick Cowboys football, and I'm gonna let E2Blue go back to sleep, man. But anyway, we finished off when we were talking about Daniel Snyder, how he's now all of a sudden money talks. You know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden Nike pulled out. Now all of a sudden FedEx switched. In my heart, it kind of throws me off. Is you've been a minority owner and you was cool with that for this long, and now all of a sudden there's an uproar with everything else. Now you want to say something after 20 some years? You should have been said something, dog, because you had more power than that to come after Daniel Snyder to do that. You had the power to do that and you didn't do it. Now you see all the hoo ha. That's what pisses me off about a lot of this stuff, E2, is that everybody want to jump up and say, "Oh yeah, this matters and this matters," but it don't matter until they start going in your pockets. Everything is cool, and you ain't apologizing nothing. Everything's okay until them pockets get hit. Soon as them pockets get
mm,
hit, all of a sudden here comes, "Oh yeah, you know what? We're gonna think it seriously, thoroughly think about this last name
yeah,
now."
yeah. That's pretty much what it is. I mean, you hit the nail in the coffin on that one.
I mean, so it's just kind of crazy. But let's talk about what's going on with at least with the Cowboys. We know what the COVID's messed everything up, but tell me what your thoughts and feelings. Dak signed the franchise tag. Do you think a deal gets done before July 15th? Especially with this stuff going on around with this COVID.
You know what? I mean, we can talk about till we blue in the face about what we think, but we really don't know. This is the thing. Now, what we don't know is what's going to happen with this season because that all really determines everything. Because if we don't have a season or if we have a terrible season, that salary cap is going to go down. So it would actually behoove him
Mm-hmm.
to get a contract now because that way he already has something that's guaranteed for. I know the contract for this year is guaranteed for 31.4 mil, but if you have a whole contract, they can't do anything with that. You're locked in there. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it would be smart for them to do a contract. But the problem is he wants 4 years, they want five, and with a 5 year contract, they can give another year option, so it's almost like six. So he don't want all that. He wants to be able to double dip. He wants to get his contract now and be able to get his second contract, and then he can do whatever after that. But
I mean,
um, it could go. It really could go any way right now, man. I'm really right now. All I care about is the fact that he is signed to his tender, and he's the starting quarterback of Dallas Cowboys. That's all I'm concerned with at this point.
I feel you right there. As long as he's signed, and hopefully they just figure it out. But at the end of the day, he signed his deal. He's getting his money for that 1 year, and he's the Cowboys for 2020 if they have a season. So I'm rolling with that. Um, Let me just talk about your thoughts about because offensive signings, defensive signings. What's kind of your top signing kind of standing out right now? Well, actually, what are you looking forward to it in camp? Not even the signings. What are you looking forward to when camp is just right around the corner? What's some of the things that you're looking at in this camp this
Defense, defense. You
year? He said defense. What a part of the defenses really intrigues you the most?
No, I was asking you, were you asking me for defense or offense?
Oh, either one. I mean, what's just something going into training camp? What is something that you're looking for on either side of the ball, or coaching, or whatever? What is something that's kind of standing out to you as camp
Well,
gets ready to begin?
well, you know me, I'm gonna give you the whole kit and caboodle, bro.
Go
So
ahead.
I'll put it like this: talk about defense. I'm looking to see what LVE and Jalen Smith are going to do at that linebacker position. Both coming kind of off of injuries and things of that nature, and down years, and just trying to come back and reclaim that linebacker core to the linebackers that we know that they can be. And the play of Anthony Brown and Jordan Lewis, because both of these guys have been talked about like dogs, and they got a lot to prove right now. And I know that they're better than what shows, because I keep trying to tell the fans that Anthony Brown is not a bad corner. He's actually really fast. I was like, I think that he was just um, a casualty of the defense that we were playing and just how just predictable we were before. I just think that these players are going to be much better in this new system. I'm agreeing with that wholeheartedly. So these guys aren't as bad as people think they are. So, and I'm looking at it from a football standpoint as far as what I know about the game and just know what I know about these guys. You know what I mean? Like they didn't sign him for 3 years for no reason. So let's put it that way. Now, as far as offensively, I think that you're gonna pretty much have to pick your poison offense, but that is all contingent on how things go in this offseason. These guys haven't played, so they're gonna look terrible in the beginning. But once they get things together, this offense is gonna be real dynamic. Now we know who our top three wide receivers are, but we don't know anything after that. One of these young undrafted guys could step up. Some of the guys that we had on tap from last year could do something, like Desmond Smith, Cedric Wilson. Actually, my next video is going to be breaking down the wide receiver course. I'm going to be talking about that on my channel too, so that the fans know they can check out that when I get that done tomorrow. But yeah, but outside of that, I just think that everything is contingent upon how this offseason breaks out and what we're going to do with this COVID, because we really don't know anything right now. That's the sucky part. You know, we can hope and pray for the best, but we don't know a damn thing until we figure out if we're even going to have football.
Yeah, I think that's the frustrating thing with all this is that we don't know, and it's the unknown. We're just kind of walking by faith and not by sight in this, as if I can throw a Bible code in here right quick. But I had a comment in here right quick, E2, from my boy Gambino, and he was talking about that tight end from Cleveland, which I have no interest in. I can't remember his name. They're talking about
David
how,
and Joe.
yeah, and they're talking about how he wants to get up out of there. He's trying to force a trade, and the Cowboys might have interest. Why? If you're my thing is this: if you're trying to get Jamal Adams and this is your centerpiece, why the hell are you trying to waste a draft pick on this dude who's inconsistent and injury prone? Just because he's 23 years old and made a few great acrobatic catches doesn't mean jack poo. He ain't did nothing. So why the hell is Dallas gonna spend a draft pick on this dude for what? You already got a Blake Jarwin. I understand what your thought is, but spend this damn money on Jamal Adams as far as these draft picks if you're gonna do anything with that. What's your thoughts on this tight end?
Let me explain that. So we've okay. So unless you've been living under a damn rock for the last couple of years, you know that every time a player wants out of their team, every time a player gets cut from a team that's halfway decent, it's the media that puts this narrative out. Oh, are the Cowboys interested in blah blah blah? And I'm so tired of these fake news sites that put out here that this team signed this person, this team signed this person. So we have to continuously try to educate our fan base on, hey, stop listening to that crap because that ain't true. And another thing, like you said, why would they want David Njoku? Like, what has he done? Right now, granted, he's not a bad player, but what are the Cowboys going to do with him? The Cowboys have Blake Jarwin, which they paid him a 3-year, $24 million contract. They want him to be the starter. We know that on those seam routes, he's going to get that. He can be the next George Kittle.
Mm-hmm.
Blake Jarwin is better than what a lot of people are giving him credit for. Give the man his damn respect. That's one.
Mm-hmm.
Two, we just signed Blake Bell from the Chiefs.
And I like
that can catch and he can block.
Mm-hmm.
He's an all-around guy. And I think that he was a former quarterback too. So I think he can throw the ball as well. So you can use him in different capacities. Three, we got Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz, I know he didn't have a lot of opportunities and stuff like that.
Boo.
But again, it's the same thing with It's the same thing with Blake Jarwin. We thought Blake Jarwin was a booty.
No, I never thought that.
Until he scored those 3 touchdowns on the Giants. You know why? Because of the simple fact that he had the opportunity to play. These young players, when you don't give them the opportunity to do anything, their confidence diminishes. So when they get a chance to go out there and get a little bit of confidence, they play better. They play with more grit. They play with more heart. And I just think that that's the old coaching staff just did not utilize tight ends right because they were coddling the hell out of Jason Witten. And Jason Witten, for years, have been impeding the process on these young tight ends. That is the reason why we have not been able to grow our tight end capacity. And another thing, this whole Jamal Adams, shut the freak up about it. I'm so tired about it. It's just like with the Earl Thomas thing. They talked about it till they were blue in the face. And what did he do?
When got paid by Baltimore.
Baltimore
hey, did you see my tweet on that? Didn't you? Didn't you see my tweet on
yes,
that? What
I did.
how
I did.
this is the exact same thing. How he And just how you said to bounce off of that, every player that wants to leverage anything to make more money is going to say, I want to go to Dallas. They're all going to do that because they know that's good ass leverage. And it sounds like, I mean, I love to have Jamal Adams. I've been talking about it, but like you said, I don't want to talk about it any longer. But until it
It
actually
happens. It
until
has
it
to.
until and if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. But at the end of the day, Dallas got to still keep on pushing and moving forward. And just like you said,
Money wise,
Earl Thomas played that Dallas thing to the hardcore, and then we went over and got paid by Baltimore. People put Dallas in their mouth, get paid somewhere else. So we'll see. But at the end of the day, like they say, when you play football, we got to worry about the players that are here.
that's it.
I mean, you get what I'm saying?
That's it.
So,
That's it.
let me ask you about the coaching staff. What coach are you kind of excited on the roster now? What coach are you kind of excited to put his handwork on the players?
Outside of head coach Mike McCarthy, um, John Fossil, Bones. I want to see what he does with this special teams group. We got two kickers now, bro. And I said on my channel, don't forget about the kickers. You know, we talk about who's going to win the job. Kai Forbath for Greg Zerline. Fuck it, keep both of them because with this with this season. What if your kicker get injured? Then you got to go get another one anyway. You might as
Right.
well keep both of them. The rosters are up to 55, right? Keep
Mm-hmm.
both of them. Keep them.
And the roster could, we don't even know how that roster is going to be because if somebody gets COVID, they may change the rules in season. You feel me? That's
Yeah.
why I said they're going to be they're going by how it happens because you can't plan for this. That's why I was saying too. If they're going to do anything that you was talking about with the helmets, they must do it now. They cannot be waiting until August or September. Is talking about, oh, let's go ahead and get these helmets. How's that going to be safe for you getting that stuff to happen in 1 month? You cannot rush this. That's why I said this has got me just not shook, but it just got me frustrated because all this other stuff is rising everywhere else. But we're all supposed to just think this thing is just going to be cool and this is just going to be an okay season. 16 games is going to happen and all that's just not going to be. That's not reality. And I'm just a little
No.
bit shook. I'm just frustrated because I really want to see. I don't. I'm not. It's kind of like, you know what this reminds me of. It reminds me of like a strike season. It reminds me
Yeah.
of a scab season where you
Yeah.
ain't you love watching a game of football, but you ain't too hyped because you don't know what the hell is going on. It could all end tomorrow.
Right. I mean, you talking about football and hell, the way things are going. I heard that they had a dust storm that came from Africa and slid all the way to the Midwest. How the hell that happened?
No.
I look, God is mad right now, yo, and he is pissed. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the end of the world could be coming soon. Damn football at that point. Our lives are at stake here. It ain't even it's bigger than COVID at this point. Like, I mean, this is the beginning of a new norm. And we're gonna be so uncomfortable. And all this hate that we have against each other has got to fucking stop in this world because again, this is why God is pissed right now. And those people that don't believe in a higher power, okay, so be it. But at the same time, it's still there and it still exists. And you either gotta meet your maker or understand that like when you living on this earth, you better love the people that's around you because that's all you got right now.
Amen on that. Just kind of end it off because I know we're gonna bang out here in a minute. But just to kind of bounce off of that, yeah, I mean, you know, it, especially with the race hating, it's like, dog, it's 2020. Like that's over with. That's like kind of played out. Just like if you calling somebody a name and stuff like that. Like y'all still do that. Like that's like old and played out. Like we've been there and done that. It's time to move on from that. You feel me? It's like it really is. It's just time to move on because we're all educated enough to know better, and you should know better about their we all. It's just too long to really talk about, but it's just like just stop. It's old and it's dumb and it's stupid. And if we're gonna continue to try to grow, I mean, and the thing about it, E2, this shit real easy.
Yeah,
This shit ain't hard.
it's not.
It's not hard to get along with somebody,
It actually takes more effort to hate than it does to love.
man. Right. I mean,
It just
it takes so much more energy for you to hate somebody for you to love them. You know what I'm saying? Like it really does.
yeah.
And it's just kind of crazy. So hopefully, with all this stuff going on, And here's one last thing, and I know this is touchy. And it threw me off. It frustrated me. I cannot lie. This frustrated me. This is gonna be our
Okay,
last thing. We're gonna end with E2. But they were talking about the Black National Anthem is going to be played week one. If there is a season. Um, and I looked in some groups, Cowboys groups and regular groups when they that was promoted, and just some of the
mhm.
comments on that, man, was just really disgusting. I can't even front, man. Them comments that they were really giving were disgusting. And it's frustrating. Like, man, it's wow. It's just like if you would have
You
seen
know
some of
what
those
it is?
comments, it was ridiculous, dog.
You know what it is? It's the fact that people don't. There's people out here that just don't. I don't know if it's just they don't care, but they listen to. They don't do their own research, right? This is 2020. You got to do. Google is out there. Do your freaking research. Stop listening to what the media said. Like somebody on my channel said something about like Black Lives Matter was a Marxist or some crazy crap like that, and I'm just like, shut up, stop it, stop it. You don't even know what it is that you're talking about. The whole point of it was, and I saw a video on Twitter. I know you saw it too,
Hmm.
where it was two white guys that had guns and they had the Black Lives Matter flag and they just shot it up and they're like, this is how we feel about it, white power. And I'm just like, okay, understand that it's not a group of people hating. It's basically about equality and understanding that nobody that started Black Lives Matter said that only Black Lives Matter. That's not what it says. It don't say only. We know that everybody's life matters. That's what we're all for. We're for equality of not just us, but for everybody. So people are missing the whole point. And if you don't know, ask a black person.
They'll tell you the
Like,
same
I mean,
thing. I mean, that's the
yeah,
first thing
like
we'll tell you. Like if somebody would come up to me and say,
I crying when I saw it, bro. I bust out in tears, like anger tears, because I'm just like, come on, man. Like, why is this so? I had to pull over my car when I saw that on the side of the road. I had to get myself together because I'm just like, why are we going through this in 2020, bro? Because I know me personally, man. I love all people. You know me. I'm a jokester, man.
yeah, right.
I have fun. No, and those are the fans that met me, man. Y'all know how I roll, bro. Like I'm cool with everybody, man. If I don't like you, it's because of you.
Hmm.
It has
Right.
got nothing to do with anything else outside of that. But it is
Well,
what it is.
like I was just about to say, it is what it is. My thoughts and feelings on it. You know, it's always been everybody lives matter, but it's just the I'm not even bouncing off as that as the group. I'm talking about just me. Okay, if I
Yeah,
were to say Black Lives Matter, it's saying that you know what, we just matter now. I mean, our lives have not mattered for a very long time, and people need to understand that it's just a reality. It's not nobody trying to cry the blues or oh come on, give me a handout or anything like that. People need to understand there was a lot of brutality, evil things that were going on. And black for a long time, black lives did not matter. Did not matter at
yeah,
all. I mean, it was really crazy. Black lives did not matter. And now it's just the frustration of it is come to an end. Like, you know what? Our lives do matter. You can't just kill us like that. You can't just treat us like that any longer. We are equal to everyone else. Yes, everybody
yeah,
has their own problems within their own race. We understand that. But at the end of the
yeah,
day, you cannot be brutalizing a particular race and saying a certain thing. So that's all it is about. It's just, yes, we, and black, like you said, a black person will tell you, I'll be first to tell you, all lives matter. I love everyone. You get what I'm saying? But it's about
yeah,
time that we get our a little more respect for what we have brought to the table in this whole period of time.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, I just can't.
And to be honest with you, every race has something to bring to the table,
Right,
and without one race, we'll be screwed
right,
because we all need each other. We
right,
all need each other.
right,
There's something that we all bring to the table.
right.
Like
How much more is
I
it a
don't know.
beautiful thing when you see blacks and whites and other races getting together and you don't, and I've seen it where just like sports, that's why I said sports brings a lot of it together because we've seen it on our football teams in there. I mean, I've played on football teams that when I went to, when I was in the city and then I moved, my mother moved into a predominantly white neighborhood. I was on a predominantly all white football team. And I was telling my boo thing that I had a game where there was a lot of the black athletes that was hating on me because I was playing on a white team. You know what I'm saying? And so they was giving me the knock that oh you act white too since you had a white school. You know what I'm saying? Because that was in the early '80s. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and we there was a big melee and a lot of white kids came to my defense, me and my friends defense. You know what I'm saying? And so it's really that hatred is taught because if it's not taught and you see two kids together, they don't see it and they just do everything normal. But when it's taught, that's how the hate breeds. So we got to start preaching and teaching our kids that hate at a very early age and start preaching and teaching love, because that's what goes a lot farther than anything else, especially when you teach them when they're young.
And to piggyback on what you said, I'm gonna tell you a quick story about myself. If it wasn't for white people, I would probably be in jail right now. Just a little story about my life. Grew up, I grew up with a lot of like, physical and emotional abuse and stuff like that. And I was angry for a long time because my father was on drugs and things of that nature. He was in and out of my life, and like I just became an angry kid. And growing up in the hood of Gary, Indiana, it was not cool.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying? Like, that's why, when I moved to the East Coast, I still had that mentality of like, not that I was primarily a thug, but because I was around that, you're a product of your environment, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I came here, I had to go through 5 years off and on in anger management because I grew to be just angry. I didn't care about people's feelings. And this is before I found the Lord and everything. In middle school, I went to a white church. I was a part of their youth group and they showed me how to love, bro. Like they were hugging and stuff. And I'm like, what is this hugging stuff? Like I didn't used to be like loving like I am now. I done got all soft and hugging and I'm bringing it in. I'm such much more of a loving individual. Like once I got saved and once I, started being around them and like they taught me how to be a better person and I took those into my adulthood and stayed out of trouble. And like I said, that was the white people that gave me a chance that sometimes my own people didn't. So, shout out to them.
I mean, and like I said, that's reality. And more people see those type of things. I mean, you understand that, it's bigger than what me and you are seeing. It's deep. That stuff that started deep, deep, deep back in the day, and we have the power to change it. We instantly. That's the funny thing. We have the power to change all this
Yeah.
instantly, and if we put our mind to do it, it can happen that quickly. So, like I said, we'll see how it continues to happen. Hopefully, I mean, I gave a shout out to my homegirl. She's Maisha Jeffries. She actually just became a police officer. And I posted, I don't know if you saw it on my Twitter. I think it was like about 10 of them together, and they were all people of color that were on the force. I think that's what also would help with the police brutality, having more other minorities on the force to help, break down the barriers that happens within the force. You get what I'm saying? So I think that would
I'm an
help.
advocate for the police department myself now. So
So I mean, just those little type of things can go a long way in getting relations together between police officers and the community. And as I said before, when the officers start reaching out and start showing a different type of way, the people respond very quickly, and that's what the police officers need to understand. The people respond very quickly when they see really good officers. I mean, people.
yeah,
When I see a really good officer, man, I'm almost like proud of it because it's like that's a good thing to see, and it just frustrates
yeah,
you when you see. And I don't want to hear any more about bad apples because we've all talked about that. Shouldn't be no bad apples in no daggone police, and you can't have one of those guys that are on any of that stuff. You feel me? So
got to live.
we'll just see what happens down the line, and I just pray that we can all get it right. But hey, I appreciate you,
Yes,
dog,
sir.
coming. I appreciate you coming on here right quick, big dog. We talked to quick Cowboys football. Not crazy amount of Cowboys football, but like I said, man, this ain't a normal year to me. This ain't. I'm keeping it all the way real. E2. I'm not excited. I'm just keeping it real. Like I'm excited about McCarthy and them, but I'm not getting all jumped up and down because I don't want to get all geeked up and then all of a sudden, boom, season over. So I'm very just cautiously optimistic right now about this season.
Yeah, yeah. I feel exactly the same way you do, bro. Like I said, with this whole COVID, we still got to wear these masks and this social distancing. And like, I mean, I understand that, it's needed. I'm just tired of it. I just want to hug somebody.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, man, this 2020 is crazy, right, big dog?
Yeah, man.
So we'll see what happens from here and beyond. Hey, let them know where they can find you, big dog.
Those of you that don't know my channel, it's E2Blue Entertainment. Like I said, I've been doing a bunch of videos and stuff. I'm getting ready to do one on the wide receivers. I'm gonna talk about them. That's gonna be dropping tomorrow. So check your boy out.
Yes, check them out. Good content all the time. And like we always say, we always preach love here. And, it's a beautiful thing how we can jump on here. He can jump on my network. I can jump on. We got this good camaraderie down here on this YouTube channel. That's what I love. How we can all give different good views and still talk that good Cowboys football. So, from me to
Sure.
you, to everybody else, continue to go out there and like, support, and become a subscriber. If you can, you can go to the Silver and Blue Nation page. Just type in Silver and Blue Nation. If you want to become a member, you can start as low as $1.99. Okay, and we're doing a little bit of reconstruction. Shout out once again to T Smooth TV. I'm dropping you that hat for your B day. But we're going to do a little bit more construction. Yeah, happy birthday. We're doing a little bit more construction with the channel, so make sure my members tune in this month because we're going to have a lot of good things going on. And as I said, if you want to become a member, go to Silver and Blue Nation. You'll see as low as $1.99, as high as $9.99. But hey, you do that and with a whole bunch of other things. So continue to be a subscriber, supporter. Love y'all for everything y'all do. Love for everybody being in the feed. And we will talk to you soon. Signing off, Big Game James, ET Blue. We'll holla at you. Peace.